Yes, indeed. It's Wrestling Uncensored. Tonight we're previewing WWE's Crown Jewel. Yes, Johnny is here. He's already looking at me funny. What are you looking at me funny for?
Well,
what's the
big
face?
question. Big question. How's the weather outside right now?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know either. I mean, yesterday it was beautiful outside. It felt like summer again. I think it was Halloween yesterday, right?
Yes.
Beautiful outside.
You think?
And then today it's like it feels like it's a terrible windstorm all the time. Like when the leaves blow in your face, it feels like they're going to cut your throat almost. That's what it felt like today, anyways. Like, I can only imagine what tomorrow's going to be like. November's going to be interesting, I think. Just want to throw that out there. Crazy weather in Canada as always.
You want to throw weather out there? Okay.
Yeah, just throw weather out there. I know you had a fun time on the Metro today, and I know Montreal subway is always fun, but
like the whole green line is down. Like there's a whole line just down. There's a water main that burst, and they couldn't handle it.
And that affects you greatly because that's pretty much all your stops, practically.
Yeah, it screwed me pretty big time today. It's nice at 6:30 in the morning when that happens to you, you know?
It'd be so bad. It'd be so upset.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't thrilled, John. Wasn't thrilled. I figured it out, though. With a little help. Yeah. Angelo Contagonis in the chat, member of the team, Leor as well, over at join.ringsidereport.net. Thank you to everybody for supporting the Ringside Report Network. We do appreciate you putting in some hard work. What?
You got a bunch of subscribers like popping up.
Sweet.
I don't know if you hear that noise. Like, that's pretty good.
Thank you for subscribing. Thank you to all the new subscribers. If you like the show, think about becoming a member over at join.ringsidereport.net. Angelo Contagonis says, sorry to hear about the Yankees, Dave. Thank you, Angelo. Thank you. See, that's nice. That's what I like to hear. You know, a lot of people like to talk trash, like, oh, Yankees, People were like talking trash to me when they were down 3-0 in the World Series. I'm like, guys, I know. It's not looking good. You're just pouring salt in the wounds here, Johnny, going after me. Johnny does it in kind of good nature, but other people were kind of mean. You know, it's just like, all right, guys, take it easy. Everybody wants to hate on Yankee fans, you know? It's just a thing. People want to hate on Yankee fans. I don't know why.
Well, just to be open and honest about this, I didn't go at you. It's just, whenever you would talk about it, I'm like, well, I got to throw my 2 cents in there. That's
you went at me. Every time I said anything, you went at me on Twitter for sure.
Yeah, anytime you said anything, but like people actually just attacked you, period. I didn't do that.
I mean,
I was nice about that at least. There was no attacking, like just like, oh, Dave, this happened. Oh, how are the Yankees doing, Dave, after they've been eliminated? I didn't do that to you.
Yeah. Sending me clips of like Freddie Freeman home runs. Like, I don't need that in my life. Thank you. No.
Well, I wanted you guys to talk about that on the watch along. You didn't talk about it.
What's there to talk about? It sucked.
Well, that's it. People just want to get your feedback.
We should be watching Game 6 tonight with the Yankees up 3-2. If you want me to, tell you how I really feel. Tonight should be Game 6 in L.A. The Yankees should be up 3-2 on the verge of winning the World Series. They should have won Game 1. They blew it. Putting Nestor in there to give up the homer. They should have held the lead. They should have won. They didn't. They won Game 4. They should have won Game 5. You're up 5-0. You blow it in the 5th inning with 3 ridiculous errors. They blew it.
Well, they did come back.
Be up. They should have been up 3-2 right now playing the Dodgers in Game 6. But they beat themselves in Game 1 and in Game 5. They beat themselves. It's unacceptable.
Yeah, that 5th inning, like that's like a movie. I couldn't believe that was like I can only imagine what you were thinking.
Nightmare.
I couldn't believe that.
Fucking nightmare, John.
Probably best we don't talk about that. Like, I mean, you gotta. I know it's been a couple of days now, but you gotta let that sit for a couple of months.
No, I'm good. I'm okay. But it pisses me off. Like, it's just like, what happened? You know, it's kind of like you had it and it just kind of slipped away. What happened?
A lot of things happened.
What happened?
A lot of things.
I know. Well, I know. It was a series of unfortunate events that led to the end of the Yankees season. That led to the Yankees not winning the World Series. Lack of defensive fundamentals all season has hurt the Yankees. Something's got to give there. Because when the chips are down, you got to make the plays. You got to make the outs automatic. It can't be difficult. It can't be kind of a guess. Are you going to make the play or not? Oh, he made it. Good. It's got to be, he's got it. It's good. We're good. You got to be more defensively sound. It was very poor defense, and it wasn't just in the World Series from the Yankees. This happened a lot. We gave away games all season with this type of nonsense. Like, this wasn't the first time I saw the Yankees implode defensively in an inning this season. It's not the first time. It just happened on the big stage, but it happened before. It happened in Boston. It happened.
Cleveland.
They had games like this. Something's got to give. You know? Got to make some adjustments. We'll see about next season. Also, the captain, you know. What happened? What's going on? I'm not mad about him. I'm sad about him. I'm sad about Aaron Judge's lack of production in the postseason. I just go, why? What? Why? It's unexplainable. Was he hurt? Is he tired?
He was coming alive there a bit. He was coming together.
Come on. Compared to what he is in the regular season, compared to normal Aaron Judge, he was not himself. That's all.
Wow, he's never been in the World Series before. It's tough. It's not easy. Look at Ohtani, too. Like, what did he do? Not much of anything.
No. I just expect more from Aaron Judge.
Well, of course.
He's our guy. I expect him to if Stanton can do it, I expect Judge to be able to do it too. People are tired of hearing me talk about the Yankees, and this is it. This is the last time, okay, guys? This is it until next season. So you got several months of me not talking about the Yankees. I'm good.
140 days or something, yeah.
Counting it down till spring training. Can't fucking wait, John. I hate when it's not baseball season. I hate it. I hate not having a Yankee game to, like, watch. I don't know what to do with myself.
Did that not make October, like, so much more fun? That you had that for all of October? Like,
what a run. Went to the World Series. It's pretty great. Didn't win, but, you know, one team's got to win, one team's got to lose. We came in second place in all of baseball. Second place ain't bad. First place is what I expect, though. You know? When the Expos left, you know, I always liked the Yankees. When the Expos left, you know, the team I loved disappeared. So I became more of a Yankee fan. I followed them more. And I grew to really love the Yankees as much as I love the Expos. And part of the reason why I decided to become a Yankees fan was, I was tired of losing. I was tired of being with a small market team that wasn't spending money and wasn't winning. I was like, at least with the Yankees, we're going to win a lot. And that was 2004. And guess how many times the Yankees have won in those 20 years that I've been a hardcore Yankee fan, John? Guess how many times they've won?
I believe it's once, if I'm not mistaken.
Once?
Yeah.
Which is, I think, what, less than the Red Sox?
Yeah, the Red Sox have like 4, if I'm not mistaken. Like,
it's outrageous, man. It's not fair. What the hell? We're supposed to win.
Well, again, you had 27. Like the Dodgers have 8 now. I mean, how long have the Dodgers been around? So, the other teams are just catching up now.
Wow, do the Dodgers have 8? That's crazy.
They might get another one, though, I think. I mean, damn, Dodgers look good. And they were hurt, too. So, we'll wait until next season. I think the National League destroying the American League right now.
Yeah.
I think if it was the Mets, they still would have won, too. So
I don't think so.
Anyways, next season, we'll see what happens.
I think if it was the Phillies, they would have won. I think the Phillies would have won.
We can do so many what ifs, but we'll talk more about wrestling and baseball next year.
I know. I'm just very passionate about baseball, John. I really love the game.
It was a lot of fun. It made the World Series a lot of fun because of that.
Alex Tara says, "Hey, Johnny North, how about the Montreal Canadiens?" That's a good question, John. It is hockey season, right? Because it's November, so they must be in regular season at this point.
Yeah, it's not going too well. I'll be at the game Tuesday. That'll be fun.
Who are they playing?
Calgary Flames on Tuesday, so that'll be fun.
They're not doing well?
No, we're 2 games below 500. It's not too good so far.
Well, how many games in? It's still early, no?
Well, like 10 games in, I think.
It's not so bad.
No, but again, kind of like how you see the Yankees, like they should be better. We expect better, so.
Well, the Canadians haven't won in.
We were like you. We went to the finals, lost in 5, and then it went downhill a little bit. So watch out for that.
Yeah, but that was. Yeah, but the Canadians haven't actually, like the Yankees won in 2009, right? When's the Canadians won in 93? It's a long time.
It's been a while, yeah.
Sucks.
A bit longer, yeah.
It sucks, man. I wish Canada won more Stanley Cups, Canada never wins the Stanley Cup. Every time there's like hockey playoffs and there's a Canadian team that's like doing well, I always root for that team. Even like if Toronto was in the finals against an American team, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, come on. Even Toronto, John. I would root for them.
The Oilers almost won. They lost in 7.
Yeah.
It's close.
I would really like to see Canada win the Stanley Cup because I feel like Canadian people care about it more than American people, People like the party and the parades in the Canadian cities are more intense. Haven't had one in a long time. Be good for the country.
There's a couple good teams. Winnipeg's Calgary's pretty decent too. I'm a little worried about Tuesday, but wait and see what happens.
Who's the best player on the Canadians right now?
I mean, there's a lot of good players. Cole Caulfield, I think, is probably the best because he's like leading the league in scoring, tied with league in scoring. So There's some bright spots. Yeah. There's some bright spots on the team. It's an incomplete, inconsistent team. That's the problem right now. Still young.
You have the scoring leader of the whole league, and you're not winning games?
Got the youngest team in the league, I think, or one of the youngest teams in the league. So
yeah?
They got to learn. That's it.
Huh. It's like a rebuild, right? A multi-year rebuild or something? Is that
year 3, yeah. Year 3 of 5. That's the plan, apparently. So
what happens in year 5? You win the Stanley Cup? It's like everything works?
That's what everyone believes, yeah. But I love it. be a bit faster than that, but we'll wait and see what happens.
Is
Again,
this actually the plan that they've put out there in public? Like, we're doing a 5-year rebuild, and at year 5, oh baby, guess what? It's gonna be amazing. Like, there's no guarantees. Is that really the thing? Is that serious? I haven't heard this. I don't. Is that really? Have they said this? Year 3 of 5.
I believe that's what's out there. I haven't seen a documentary about it, but I think it's a 5-year building process to be, again, one of the top teams. Not to say they're going to win the cup, but one of the top teams.
Do you believe that? Are they on the path?
I want to believe they'll be great every year, but I mean, every year feels different. So we'll wait and see what happens. It's been a lot of losing, so it's tough.
Wow, that blows. That sucks, man. You got to sit through like multiple seasons of like, don't worry, guys. We may suck now, but one day we'll get it. We'll figure it out. These young kids that suck, they'll be good one day. You'll see.
But it's a lot like you see in baseball too. Like, you barely make the playoffs, and you just go on a bit of a run in the playoffs. So you get a little bit hot, and like you just have this big run. A lot of teams are 8th place teams. They go all the way to the final sometimes, so it can happen.
Hey, the Yankees didn't even make the playoffs last year, and they went to the World Series this year.
Exactly. I won the pennant, so I mean, that's a huge step forward. So anything can happen.
Yeah, we did get Juan Soto.
You had him for a year. That was good.
Can we get him for like 10 more, please? It'll cost like $700 million, but I think it's worth it.
I don't know. I heard what he said afterwards. Like, I feel like he's gone after that. Like,
yeah, didn't sound good. I think he's just exploring his options, which is fair for him to do.
I mean, money.
I mean, the guy is not going to take a low ball offer just to stay with the Yankees. He's going to take the best offer he can get, and he's probably going to make $500 million on his next contract, which is crazy. But that's where we're at. I think Soto's going to get $500 million for multiple years to play baseball for a team, which is super cool because he's the man. So good for him. It's amazing. He's like 26 years old now. Just had a birthday during the World Series. Young man. Very bright future. Rich future ahead of him. He's going to cash in so big, man. Might be one of the richest contracts in all pro sports. Like, it's going to be $500 to $700 million, I think, for 10 to 12 years. That's the talk, which is crazy money. He might go to the Blue Jays. They might pay out, Soto money. They might do it. The Red Sox might do it. The Yankees might do it. The Mets might do it. The Dodgers might do it, which is terrifying.
I mean, look at who won this season, right? It's the team that paid the most.
Dodgers spent $1 billion last offseason. $1 billion on new contracts. It worked, but like, what are we doing here? As a Yankee fan, John, I think it's unfair for teams to buy championships. The Dodgers bought the championship. They're cheaters. They spent all this money. It's bullshit. What's funny, though, is the Yankees would have spent the same money. The Dodgers spent a bunch of money on Yamamoto, the pitcher there that they got from Japan. And the Yankees were trying to spend that. We were really trying to get Yamamoto, too, but it didn't work. He went with Ohtani. Motherfucker. Would have been nice. Would have been nice to see Yamamoto in pinstripes, and then the Yankees would have probably outspent the Dodgers in the offseason, but Yamamoto decided to go to LA. Probably a good move for him because he won and he got paid. So, yeah. Okay.
Again, wait and see the offseason. See what happens.
Yeah. Okay, John, we should talk wrestling. People want to hear us talk wrestling. This is Wrestling Uncensored. This is not Baseball Uncensored, although This is it. This is the
It was.
postseason kind of recap. This is it. We're done. We're done talking baseball. God.
R.I.P.
Yep. Rest in peace, 2024 season. We'll see you in 2025. Hopefully the Yankees win one for me next year. I just want to see them win one. Just give me one.
At least your kids got to see a World Series, you know?
Yeah, but they wanted to win. Zevi wanted to win. Ooh. That Dodgers little promo they did on SmackDown tonight where they're giving the Dodgers WWE belts for the World Series got major heat on my couch in the living room tonight, brother. Boos. Very angry. We were very mad to see that. Seeing the Dodgers get the belts. Congratulations to the Dodgers. I was like, fuck you, Michael Cole. Shut up, dude. Don't show me that.
The worst part is that was taped, so they're going to do a bigger thing probably either tomorrow or on Raw.
Ugh, gross. Shout out to Shane McMahon, noted Yankee fan. Also, El Campeon, my main man, Damian Priest, Pinstripe Pride, all the way. All the good WWE wrestlers that love the Yankees. God bless. We love you.
Did you see that thing about, like, you guys lost because they had Ice Cube and you guys had Fat Joe?
What's the difference?
Quality. Apparently, you know, Fat Joe compared to Ice Cube, it's like there's no contest for a lot of people.
To who? It's disrespectful to Fat Joe. Joey Crack? Come on, man. I mean, Ice Cube for sure, legendary. If you're going to say who's a better MC, I'd say most people would say Cube, but Fat Joe is a legend of hip-hop, man. You can't disrespect that, man. Puerto Rico's taken enough disrespect this week, man. You're going to disrespect Fat Joe, too? Come on, man. Take it easy. What are you, Tony Hinchcliffe over there, John? Be cool.
Well, I can give a bunch of shout-outs to the people, like, we're saying, like Big Papi was saying, Magic Johnson was saying, like, it wasn't a very good performance. And, like, afterwards, like, the Dodgers kind of took it from them after that.
Yeah, I guess. It wasn't a great performance from Fat Joe. How come Yankees couldn't get Jay-Z? I'll tell you why the Yankees couldn't get Jay-Z. Because he seems to be laying low these days. I don't know. Nobody's seen him. Where's he at? What's he up to?
Well,
is he ducking?
You're not gonna like it.
Is he ducking indictments? What's happening?
There's gonna be a lot of Dodger praise, I think, on WWE television coming up. So get ready.
They better suck it with that. I don't want to hear none of that. None of that. Fat Joe isn't fat no more. He kind of is though. He's not like skinny.
That's what the Dodgers said during the parade today. That's why. It's a joke. The Dodgers did.
I don't get it.
Oh, you'd have to hear it all, but you'll get mad, so you don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't want to see the Dodgers World Series parade. I'm good. I'm good on that. When I watched the game, I saw them win, and then I saw the camera go to Judge, and I saw Judge look in, and then Judge go into the clubhouse. He didn't stay in the dugout to watch. And I was like, yeah, I'm not watching either. And I turned it off. If the captain's not watching, I'm not watching.
I saw Soto was the last guy there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was something.
I don't know what that's about. I don't know. Fat Joe. Ice Cube, man, I don't know.
Now we're going to diss Ice. No, he hates Ice Cube. Wow.
Ice Cube's okay, I guess, but Common and Ice Cube, like when you know who Common is, John?
No.
Common Sense, the rapper Common. You know him. He's like an actor too. He's famous. He's a famous man. They were going back and forth a number of years ago, and Common did this song about Ice Cube. Just obliterated him. The bitch in you. I didn't like how Cube was coming at Common. I never really liked Cube in the same way after that. And I really liked the way Common just shut him down. Common is a great rapper. You don't know Common Sense? Bro.
You're not going to like Cube's variations on his songs because, like, what he did during the parade today, how he, like, kind of threw a lot of Yankee discs into his songs. Like, you're not going to like.
Fuck Ice Cube.
I knew that was coming.
Ice Cube can go fuck himself. All of LA right now, honestly. I got no time for anything on the West Coast. You could all suck it. New York forever. Okay. Let's see. WWE Crown Jewel tomorrow afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern time is the start. We're going to be on right after the Jewel to recap who won the Jewel, who got the crown, and who laid the smackdown. We've got Roman Reigns and the Usos, the original bloodline, back together, taking on the new bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Tamatanga. Probably. I think it's those three guys, although maybe it's somebody else. I think it's those three, right? Tonga Loa's not in the match.
I think you're from the graphic.
Yeah,
that's the way it looks like. However, We've seen it before in the past where it looks like that, and then it's not like that. So, but I think you're right from the way it looks.
Could be a switcheroo. We'll find out. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, the tag team champions, defending in a fatal four-way against Kairi Sane, Io Sky, Lash Legend, and Jakara Jackson, and Chelsea Green with Piper Niven. LA Knight. LA Knight should lose the U.S. title just because the name is LA. Let's see some LA losses.
Wow.
That's right. Even LA Knight goes down this week. Sick of LA Knight. Change your name. New York Knight. NY Knight defending his U.S. title against Andrade and Carmelo Hayes in a triple threat. Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens one-on-one in a grudge match. Seth freaking Rollins in a grudge match against Bronson Reed. More grudges on the line there. Liv Morgan defending her... No, Liv Morgan not defending. Liv Morgan is the Raw Women's World Champion. Nia Jax, her opponent, the SmackDown WWE Champion. And this will be a match to determine the Women's Crown Jewel Champion. New championship on the line. Champion versus champion for a new championship. Same situation in the men's match. Cody Rhodes versus Gunther. Gunther, the world champ. Cody, the WWE champ. They wrestle for the Crown Jewel Championship. What?
But they don't get the title.
What?
Apparently they get a ring instead now.
Why do they make a belt? Why do they keep showing us the belt?
The belt is mainly there just for show, but apparently the belts will stay in Saudi Arabia. They will always be there, but whoever wins the match will get a ring instead that show that they won the match. I can see your excitement in the eyes.
Is so fucking stupid. Shit. Just giving Saudi Arabia like a play show. Here you go. Let's give you like a show that feels like a big deal, but actually isn't at all.
Did you notice, too, on SmackDown when they won the main event, Cody and Randy, they said the undisputed champion, Cody Rhodes.
Takes on the world champion, Gunther. Gunther is the disputed champion. Cody's undisputed. Gunther is disputed. Gunther's championship is in dispute. What?
It's funny because I think he's going to win, too. So, I mean, that really throws off Cody's undisputed title.
This whole company is just bizarre. It's a weird, weird show. There's good stuff.
The money.
There's bad stuff. But, yeah, it's just money, right? It's just money-driven. It just feels like a cash grab. It feels like, I don't know, it feels artificial. You know? Like the snow hills in Saudi Arabia for the skiing. It feels artificial. Something not quite right about it. It doesn't have the right feel.
Well, I felt WWE this week completely felt artificial. A lot of the matches, the feel of the shows felt artificial. I mean, it hurt. SmackDown was taped, so
yeah,
it really hurt the feel of it.
SmackDown was taped. SmackDown was not great tonight. It was pretty, kind of paint by numbers. Basic. Here we go. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's get it over with.
My big issue was that you ended Raw with Dominic Mysterio getting beat down repeatedly with a chair by Damian Priest.
Yeah.
And he's one of the first guys to come out, no problem whatsoever on SmackDown. Obviously tape, but still, like, that looks bad.
Which, by the way, what a main event for Raw. What a blockbuster main event. Dominic Mysterio versus Damian Priest. Unbelievable stuff by the WWE. Really pulling a rabbit out of the hat there. Magic. What the fuck are they doing?
Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, it took me 3 times to try to watch Raw. It was tough this week.
Oh. And Dominic won with some, trickery and stuff, some outside interference.
Oh, we can talk about this too. Like, explain to me, again, I crap on the referees a lot all the time, and it's not going to stop here.
Okay.
Because when there's a pinfall, and I believe there was the chair right in the ring, like, the referees are going to be like, hey, what the heck? Like, there's something in the ring. You got to take the illegal object out of the ring. But no, we'll just go right to the pinfall right away. It looks bad when they do that. This happened, like, I think, repeatedly this week. It happened on Raw in the main event. And I think it happened in the Liv and Tiffany Stratton match as well. She had the briefcase in her hand. Oh, whatever. Count the 3.
They're just trying to get it over with, John.
Oh,
They're not putting effort into it. It's clear there's no effort into any of this. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I feel like they're more focused on the business of it and look at this sold out gate than on what the product actually is. I think that there's a lack of focus. Because to me, like, a lot of things for the company are working, like the production and the touring schedule and everything and the deals. But then you look at what they're actually doing and you go, well, you're just waiting for The Rock, aren't you? What else you got? Because if you're just waiting for Dwayne, like, since WrestleMania happened, it feels like we've been in this kind of cycle of nothingness in the WWE. It's months now. People notice. And it's not going to start kicking off again until probably January 1st, when they go on Netflix. Then things will get interesting, and they'll be building to the Rumble, and then WrestleMania, and then, for a few months it'll get interesting again. But what's that drop-off going to be like again in April 2025? We got a couple months now. It's going to stay dead. November, December is going to stay dead. January is going to pick up. That's their cycle. January, February, March, it's worth watching. 3 months. That was what they did in 2024. They gave you 3 good months. The first 3 months were incredible. The Rock made wrestling cool again. Remember that? Since then, now it feels like, well, we're just waiting for The Rock. Oh, John Cena's going to come back. Okay. Because Roman Reigns is back, and that's cool, but there are some flaws with what they're doing there, I mean, we're building towards Crown Jewel, but it also feels like we're building towards something bigger at War Games. They're giving you commercials for War Games. We know War Games is coming up. We know we need a big War Games match, and it's probably going to be Bloodline versus Bloodline. We've been talking about this for, it feels like, months now. Maybe before Roman came back, we were predicting Bloodline versus Bloodline at War Games. Right?
Probably. Yeah.
So, we figured they'd get the Usos back together again, because the Usos can't stay apart forever because they're the Usos. And they found their way back together. They did a promo this week on Raw. They hugged. They reunited. They're back together this week because Jey Uso is mad that Solo and the guys cost him the Intercontinental title, so he's going to join up with Jimmy and stand with Roman, and they're going to have a 6-man tag. And then on SmackDown this week, Roman has to make up with Jimmy Uso, and he eventually does. And with Jey Uso, Jimmy and Roman come out, and then Jey comes out, and Jay's like, it's got to be different this time. You can't boss me around. We got to be equals. And Roman's kind of like looking down, and you think maybe he's not going to be into it, but then he says, yeet, and then everybody's happy and yeeting, and then they all do the pose, and it's all very nice. But you kind of see it all coming a mile away. Every step you're seeing coming a mile away. I've been saying for feels like weeks and weeks now that, like, yeah, it'll be Roman, Jimmy, Jay. They need a fourth man. Sammy makes a lot of sense. And then lo and behold, Jay and Jimmy are talking to Sammy this week on Raw, and Sammy then is talking to Solo and Jimmy and JC, and they're like, ooh, we can't trust Sammy, and there's a bit of a rift, but you know that they're going to figure it out, and eventually Sammy's going to come back in the fold, and Sammy and Roman and Jimmy and Jay will be back together, and they will take on the new bloodline at War Games in Vancouver. By the way, Sammy's Canadian, it's in Canada, so it's even more easy to just put the pieces together and see where they're going with all of this. So when we have the will Sammy or will he or won't he, and we start this now, and he's talking to Solo, and you're supposed to go, ooh, what's happening here? But if you look at the big picture, you go, oh, this is what's happening here. He's just kind of, they're kind of doing a little thing, and then they'll make up, and then Sammy will be with them. So it's just kind of boring. You just kind of want to go, skip it. Fast forward. I know what you're doing. So we're sitting through it. It's boring. It's very obvious. We see it coming months away. It's part of the problem of having War Games matches booked already without participants. You kind of figure, well, they need to fill that match. Who are they going to get? And then you can kind of easily put those pieces together. I mean, if you look at the WWE right now, like they haven't announced War Games, right? They haven't announced who's going to be in the War Games. They have announced that the match is going to happen. They just haven't told you who's in it. And if you look at the company right now, who else could be in it?
Yeah, it's tough. There's not a lot in terms of like teams, faction. I mean, you could put Judgment Day against whatever, right? You could always do that.
What's whatever, though? Who are they even feuding with?
Well, you'd have to hot shot the
Priest?
Wyatts, I think. I think you got to put them in against the Wyatts.
Okay. I mean, I guess, but they haven't even started anything close to that.
That's the only thing I can think of. There's not much.
Right. But that's the point, John. You know what I mean? It's just like they make it so obvious. You go, all right, can we just get to it already? It's boring because you just want to get through it. You're bored because you could see the steps, and every step of the way, you're like, yeah, I know.
I get you on this, but I mean, given the fact that WWE is littered with injuries right now, like the Bloodline's the best thing they got going right now. Like it's the best part of SmackDown, so they got to run with this as much as possible. And maybe it's predictable, maybe you can see it a mile away, but it's the best thing they have. So they got to put it out there as much as possible. Put it on Raw, put it on every show they possibly can, because it's the best thing they have. So regardless that it might be predictable, they got nothing really else going on that's really great to watch. This is the best thing they have.
Reuniting the band. It's like a movie,
Yep.
you know, where it's like, oh man, we broke up, but we got to get back together for this one show, you know? And then, you know, they go member to member. Hey, do you want to do it? And it's like, no. And then they find a way to get him, and they get him. And, you know, it's like Roman and Jimmy got back together, and it was like, oh, they're back together. And then they get Jay, and it's like, oh, they got Jay. And then they're going to get Sammy, and they're like, oh, we got the whole group. Okay. Cool. I think it's a good idea. I just wish they'd go about it a different way. Like, do it in one night. Don't do it over weeks and weeks.
Well, again, they're carrying the television weekly now, so, and if they're going to be on both shows doing this, they kind of have to drag it out a little bit. And I don't know about you, I'm far more invested in this than compared when they had like the Shield like reunion, or really any other kind of reunion, like bringing back Miz and R-Truth, and now they broke up again. Like, I'm always a big fan of when they got back together, so I'm okay with them breaking up. So actually, the original Bloodline coming together, I kind of want to see that.
It makes sense for the moment. Makes sense. What do you think happens in the 6-man tag at the Crown Jewel? Roman and Jimmy and Jey Uso all together taking on the New Bloodline guys. 6-man tag. But, the New Bloodline guys have an extra man outside the ring. I think we had a question before. Do we think Sami Zayn will come and help the original Bloodline? I don't think so. I think the original Bloodline will lose because of the numbers game, and they will get their revenge with help from Sami at War Games. They will come to Sami and say, we need you. You are family. We love you. Please help us. And Sami will help. Because Sami is a good babyface.
I completely agree. I don't know if you're going to enjoy this match a lot, because this is probably going to be a 40-minute match. It's going to be a typical Bloodline match, a lot of drama, probably a lot of talking too. Entrances that are probably going to be a good 10 minutes. So I can see you in the post-show being very upset. So get ready for that.
Gonna up the dosage tomorrow afternoon. Just to get through the day, brother. Yeah, so we agree. The New Bloodline will win this one because we need a reason for revenge at Survivor Series, right? Which is like a couple weeks away.
We agree so far, but I have to say, WWE actually made this interesting. It's tough to predict these ones this time around. It's usually easy with WWE. This one's actually kind of difficult.
Yeah, some of them are a little trickier than normal, right? Let's stick with some easier ones. Fatal 4-way tag team match for the women's tag team titles. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair defending against Damage Control, Meta 4, which is Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. Are they on the main roster now, officially? Or are they still just kind of loners from NXT?
Yeah, I think they're still NXT, but because the women's tag team titles go for all brands, I guess they're allowed to be on the shows because they're in a feud with the women's tag champions.
Okay. The Fatal 4-Way is actually pretty good tonight.
Best thing on SmackDown this week.
Yeah, it was very good, right? I'm not crazy. Io Sky is fantastic. Bianca Belair, a wonderful wrestler. Piper Niven, also very good. And I gotta say, I think Lash Legend is pretty good too. I haven't seen much of her, but seeing her tonight, I was like, oh no, she is impressive. I was like, oh yeah, she's pretty good. She held her own in this match. She didn't seem out of place at all. Sometimes when you're new and you're kind of green, you stick out, and there's like, ooh, there's that one. What's she doing? But she looked fine. She was there for all her spots. I thought that match went off very, very well. It's excellent. And Io Sky winds up winning. Bianca hits a KOD on Lash Legend, and then Io hit a moonsault on Bianca. Bianca rolled out of the ring after taking it, and Io pinned Lash Legend to get the win. I don't think Kyrie and Io are going to win the tag team titles. I do think Jade and Bianca are going to retain.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way with you. I thought Damage Control maybe could win this, but off of them winning that match, now they're definitely not going to win. I think Bianca and Jade, because people are like, oh, they've lost in a 3-way tag. Now they're actually going to win when it's a multiple tag match. I think. They're going to lose eventually, but not right now. And anything, I think it's going to be Jade, Bianca against each other at WrestleMania.
One of them would have to turn. I mean, Jade probably turns on Bianca at some point. I could see it happening. Could be.
But it's too soon.
Yeah, not yet. I'm not even sure if they do that this year's WrestleMania. It seems a little too soon for this year, even. Or, well, next year, whatever. The next Mania. This wrestling year.
It's mainly because of injuries now. I think things got messed up because now Rhea Ripley's apparently hurt and might be out for months now. So I think the plans they had have been changed probably. So, like, I thought maybe you do Rhea versus Bianca at WrestleMania. I thought that's the big match to make. But if that's off the table now, what else are you going to do? I think that's the best thing now for Bianca is to do that match.
It's possible.
What are you looking at?
Releases?
Yeah, there was release. Indy Hartwell, who wrestled on SmackDown, has been released.
She was released before her match even aired on SmackDown tonight?
That's correct, yes.
That's crazy.
You think she would have lost the match too, but no. Partner did.
Well, her team lost, but she didn't actually take the fall. Bayley and Naomi over Candice LeRae and Tegan Nox tonight. And Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. Sorry, Tegan Nox also got released.
That's right, yes.
And Baron Corbin.
Well, apparently his contract just expired and they just aren't going to re-sign him.
Tony Khan, we got a big guy for you who sucks.
I'm thinking TNA, though. I don't know about you. I think he's probably going to go with TNA.
Yeah, I don't think AEW would be interested because he sucks. If they signed him, I'd be pissed, honestly. I'd be like, why? What are you doing?
No, I definitely think TNA.
I'd like to see Indy Hartwell go to AEW. I think she's talented.
Either or. AEW, TNA. I can see her go to Japan, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Tegan Nox has been hurt a lot. I don't know. She's hurt a lot.
She'll get another chance somewhere else, too.
Yeah, she's good, but just has had trouble staying healthy. But I like her. I think she's very talented. Okay. A few releases there from the WWE today. Interesting. Doesn't happen too often. So we're in agreement on the two matches so far at the Crown Jewel. How about LA Knight? Let's see him lose to Andrade or Carmelo Hayes. Triple threat match for the U.S. title. I actually think LA Knight will probably retain the championship. I don't see him losing to these guys here.
Oh, wow. I thought we were on board. I have LA losing. I thought you'd be happy about that. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to go with Andrade to win the match because after what happened with that three-way thing or that best of seven thing, like LA, I think should lose off that.
I don't think they're taking the belt off him here. We'll see.
Well, again, like you don't have to get pinned, right? I could see him pinning Hayes in this one. I think Andrade's going to walk. And I don't have any other title. There's no other title changes on the show. This is where it has to be.
Yeah, but we kind of have new champions in the Crown Jewel thing. And
well,
Tiffy Time's promising a cash-in.
That's a wild card. Because like I didn't really have that at first, but now with the Rhea injury, I'm not sure what's going to happen. That match is very interesting now because of the Rhea injury.
So you think Andrade's winning? I'm going to stick with LA Knight. Let's skip forward to that Liv Morgan Nia Jax match.
All right.
So, how hurt is Rhea?
I want to say it's
orbital bone, right?
I believe she may have broken it too.
Mm-hmm. Put a Phantom of the Opera mask on it and keep wrestling, brother. That's what Undertaker did.
Yeah, and how long was Josh Koscheck out for with that?
He was never the same.
Well, so if she's like, their prized female wrestler, I think you want to make sure she's 100% or close to as can be. So they're going to take time on that. And she was already hurt before, coming back from an injury. So they're going to make sure if they can have her for Mania, they're going to keep her on the shelf for now.
It could change the look of your face, too. Broken orbital bone.
Well, she wears a lot of makeup, so
still
it'll be fine.
I don't know. Well, look, if Rhea is really gone for a little bit here, which it seems like she might be, are going to need a little something on Raw. And tonight on SmackDown, Tiffy Time wrestled Liv Morgan and just lost in a short match.
It was bad, too.
It was quite bad. It was quite bad. Liv Morgan did this move at one point that they called a neck breaker. But she just took a huge bump. It looked like Tiffany just slammed her. And then Tiffany fell down. And Liv took his huge bump. And then Liv gets up. And I'm like, I reacted like, oh, what a move by Tiffany. And then Liv got up and was like, that was me on offense. I was like, no, it wasn't. What the hell was that? Horrible stuff. Half of Liv Morgan's moves, she bumps. Her finisher, she's taking a bump. I don't know what the hell her moveset is, but it seems like it hurts her more than her opponent. Not good. And it's time for Liv to drop the belt to Tiffy Time. I think Tiffany's cashing in, taking the Raw Women's Championship, cashing in Money in the Bank on Delivery Morgan, and going over to Raw and starting a babyface run over there against Liv and whoever.
But that's not the match, though. The match is Nia versus Liv. You're thinking of another match that could happen. So
well, that's another match that's going to happen afterwards, I think. I think Nia is going to beat Liv.
Okay.
With viciousness. And then Tiffy's going to cash in and take the belt.
There's a very good chance of that.
Double loss for Liv. Nia just continues being strong, whooping ass. Nia was disgustingly vicious tonight with that briefcase. Smacking those ladies very hard. She hit Liv in like the head with that thing. Just cracked her. And then hit a bonsai drop that looked like she crushed that little lady, Liv Morgan. Nia Jax is just mean. And I kind of like it. So I think Nia wins. I think Nia wins the Crown Jewel thing. She's queen of the ring. She's champion. She's the top of SmackDown. They're building her up. They're not building her up for Tiffany. Queen of the ring, Crown Jewel, champion. Who do you think they're building Nia Jax up for? Who could come back and take out this monster heel? What superhero babyface that's out with an injury could come back and take out the evil Nia Jax in a big match? I wonder, John. Woo! Oh! Obviously, Charlotte Flair. Let's go. When is the Queen coming back to take out Nia Jax? It's going to happen, John. I'm pretty sure it's going to be, woo! The Queen. The best. The best of all time.
Damn. That's a good possibility.
Hell yeah.
Very good possibility. I don't know if it's going to happen right now, but I'm like you. I got Nia winning. I don't know if we're going to have a cash-in, though, tomorrow.
Huh?
I don't know if we're going to have a cash-in, because the whole story has been that Tiffany's going to, not cash in, but maybe cash in on Nia. Just to throw her all away tomorrow is kind of a waste, almost. Like, I feel like you need to kind of end that story. Like, maybe they will go in that direction.
We're not cashing in on Nia.
I feel you end the story, but not right now.
Not everybody has to finish the story, John. All right?
Some guys did.
I think Tiffy cashes in on Liv and just starts a new thing with Liv. I think her saying tonight, oh, Nia, you're pissing me off. Liv's pissing me off. I might cash in on either one of you. That's the first time Tiffany's ever said that. She's always been like, I'm not cashing in on Nia. I love Nia. But tonight she's like, oh, it might be either one of you. I think she's saying that. They're telling her to say that to throw us off a little bit. To make us think, oh, maybe she will cash in on Nia. Maybe this Nia thing is still going on. But really, she is cashing in on Liv Morgan. Raw needs more talent, and she's going to Raw. Also, her boyfriend's on Raw. Ludwig Kaiser. Like,
right.
It'd be nice for her to go there, I think. It's time. It's time.
I completely agree.
It's happening.
Like, that should happen. I hope it does.
That's your title change at Crown Jewel right there. Tiffany Stratton. New
Hope you're right.
Women's World Champion. You don't think I'm right? You're not going to predict it with me? You're not going to join me on my bold prediction of Tiffy time cashing in to win the championship?
No, I don't think it's not yet. Like, I want to see it happen, but I don't think it's going to happen quite yet.
Okay.
I think it'd be a great idea. I think having Tiffany being the champion on Raw, that's what we kind of need right now, because Raw's kind of dead in terms of the women's division, like in terms of interest. In terms of interest or anything on Raw, it's very difficult.
Come on, John.
But I don't know if they're going to hotshot it like that.
Come with me.
I want to believe in...
Come with me. I'm right. It's going to happen tomorrow. It's happening.
I think they're going to take their time. I think they'll take their time.
I think they have time. If Rhea's not there, they need to fill the void.
Oh, they got time. Don't worry about it. They're still surviving. They could do it as Survivor. They could do it on Raw if they wanted to.
I think the best time would be tomorrow, so we do something at Crown Jewel. We also have, what else do we have on this show? Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. I think Triple H, all the things he's saying about Kevin Owens, how he's really dangerous, how Randy should watch out, how he's protecting Randy from Kevin Owens. I think all that's going to come true. I think Kevin Owens is going to beat up Randy. I think he's going to beat Randy. And it's going to lead to a title match with Cody in Vancouver, Canada at Survivor Series.
It's weird because it feels like, because Randy looked at the title again, it feels like Randy's going to turn on Cody. So it's weird that we have Kevin's the one that's probably going to go up to challenge Cody, where it feels like Randy might be the mastermind behind all of this, or at least like it feels like it might be twisted in that direction. But we're not going that direction, at least not now.
I think you're misreading. This situation. So Cody and Randy did a promo tonight, and Randy is like, I'm going to beat up Kevin Owens. And Cody's like, please leave some of Kevin Owens for me because I want to beat him up when you're done with him. And Randy's like, there's going to be nothing left of Kevin Owens after I'm done with him. Sorry, Cody. So he's going to like kill him or something, right? And Cody's like, oh, okay, well then I don't know what I'm going to do. And then Randy's like, I'm sure you'll think of something. And he kind of looks over at the belt, right? So Randy is saying, like, well, once I beat Kevin Owens, then Cody will have no one else to feud with. And then I will feud with Cody. I will challenge him. And then I will get a title shot. And I think Randy, he's always kind of done the looks at the belt and kind of picked up the belt and thought about it. He is teasing a match down the road with Cody. And I do think it's going to happen. Just not at Survivor Series. I think Randy will lose here at Crown Jewel, eliminating him from the title shot possibility at Survivor Series. Kevin will get that title shot, probably not win. And then, maybe down the road we see Randy and Cody. I mean, there's talk that The Rock's match with Cody would be at Royal Rumble, which could open up a WrestleMania spot for Randy. I think there's a lot of opportunities to do Cody versus Randy at some point down the road, and I think they're just dropping little hints that it is in the works in the future. But I don't think we see Randy straight up just turn on Cody, RKO him out of nowhere during a match with Kevin Owens. Like, I don't see that happening. Although, maybe at Survivor Series, Randy will have kind of turned after Kevin Owens beat some sense into him. Maybe it'll change. But I don't see it happening right now. I think they're dropping hints, though. I think Cody and Randy down the road. But, like, Randy being the mastermind of Kevin's attack, like, how would that even make sense? Because Kevin attacked Randy, too. So, what?
Oh, they love to twist things all around, so.
Yeah, but it's a nonsensical twist that they couldn't really explain away.
Well, I'm like you. I got Kevin Owens winning this one.
Yeah.
And that's probably going to lead into Survivor Series match.
Mm-hmm.
Should be a good match, though. Looking forward to it.
And the crowd at Survivor Series is going to be real interesting.
Yep.
Canadian Kevin in Canada as a heel, technically, but like we've made the case for why Kevin Owens is not really a heel going into this, why Cody kind of pushed him in this corner, and Cody's kind of being a dick and everything. Like, we've talked about it. And now, with a match in Canada, if Kevin does the promos right, if they kind of build this right, he could get most of the support, and Cody could get booed out of the building, which has not happened on this WWE run for Cody. It's been very positive reactions for Cody everywhere he goes. But we started to see some reactions, like in New York with Cody, where he was kind of getting boos. And I think in Vancouver, there's a possibility. Vancouver's not Toronto. It's not Montreal. It's not the same kind of vibe for the crowd, but I think they're going to be hot for Survivor Series. They don't get a lot of pay-per-views. They don't get big events from WWE very often. And I think they're going to be very much behind Kevin Owens. I hope they will be, because that'll make for a more interesting match. If the crowd is like very much behind Kevin and booing everything Cody does, the match will all of a sudden have this whole dynamic, right? I hope it goes there.
It's fun when it goes against what they want. WWE, they have a certain way they want things to go, and then fans take it in their own direction. Creates a unique atmosphere, unique environment.
I mean, you say, it's not what WWE wants and all of this, John, but I think that they have an idea, if they book Kevin Owens in a title match in Canada, that the crowd might be with him. Like, they've been to Canada enough times and booked Canadians that they've kind of figured, like, even if they're heels, they still love them, I think WWE knows that by now. If they don't, like, they're not paying attention to the past, 30 years of their programming.
Well, they might be challenging Cody in a sense, where it's like, well, let's see how over you are. Like, I mean, I think the big thing to get Kevin there is that he's Canadian. People want to see him in that match. Mm-hmm. People want to see that match, period, there. It's probably one of the more intriguing places to have that match, so. I think it's more about selling the tickets, pretty much, and then they'll worry about like who they cheer for after the fact, I think.
Yeah, that's also true. And they've sold the tickets on the strength of the name Survivor Series and the War Games match without anybody actually being announced or booked, which is something. I don't know if they've sold out, but I would guess that they're pretty close. Record gate. Seth freaking Rollins taking on Bronson Reed 1-on-1. I think this will be Seth's revenge. Seth should win this.
Really? Okay, well, this is, again, more difference here. I feel Bronson needs to win this match. Seth cost him that match against Braun, and Braun's out. And to make Bronson into a monster that they keep hyping up, he's got to get a big win. And this is not the end of it, too. Like, this can go on for a little bit. So I think Bronson needs to beat Seth here.
I don't know. Bronson took Seth out with an injury, and Seth was gone for like a little while. I feel like in this spot, it's like Seth babyface coming back, getting revenge for being taken out, and then moving on to something bigger and more important than Bronson Reed. I don't think the aim of this is to make Bronson Reed. I think the aim of this is to have a little bit of a monster for Seth to come back and have an actual match with. Like, you see, they've built Bronson enough over the past couple of months since he injured Seth, where you kind of believe he's got a chance in a match at Crown Jewel against Seth Rollins, where before you'd be like, what? Why is this even happening? I think the whole point was to elevate Bronson to this stage, which is as high as he's going to go for now, but this is a match for Seth to win. It's Seth's comeback match. He's going to lose?
He's done it in the past, has he not? I feel like he's lost in the past with comeback matches. I just say for Bronson, I think he's got to win it. I think it's huge for him to win this match. Like, you're probably right. But I'm going to go with Bronson just because he needs to win the match, I think.
Okay. I'm going to go with Seth because I'm probably right, according to Johnny North. So I like that. I like that you say you're probably right, but I'm going to go with the wrong choice. Cody Rhodes versus Gunther. Raw champ versus SmackDown champ for the Crown Jewel champ. Champ? Who you got, champ?
Well, I'll go with the one who's not the undisputed champion. I'll go with Gunther. Because I also have it where it's like SmackDown wins for the women, and then Raw wins for the men.
That works too. Yeah.
That's how my favorite one was. Yeah.
I think Gunther wins, maybe with help from Kaiser, maybe with help from Kevin Owens. I don't think he wins clean. I don't think he just beats Cody with like a bunch of chops and a powerbomb. Middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3. I don't think they have Cody lose clean. I don't think that would be that wise at this stage of the game. I think there'll be some sort of screwy finish with other people involved. Maybe even The Rock if we're lucky, although I highly doubt it. I think more Kaiser, Kevin Owens combination is kind of going to be the ticket to get Cody out of there and give Gunther the win.
A lot of shenanigans, more than likely. A lot of crazy. Probably the main event. More than likely the main event of the show.
Not Roman.
I mean, this is the big title thing, right? I mean, it's the big 2 world champions. That should be the main event.
It should be. But who's the real star of this show?
Good question. I mean, again, I would think it would be Cody. Should be Cody.
Let me ask you another question. Let me ask you a different question. Who's the top babyface on SmackDown?
Okay, that's Roman. Sure, yeah.
Who's the top babyface in the company?
I guess it has to be Roman. Yeah.
You know, that's all I'm saying. I could see Roman closing the show because he's the main attraction. He's the star of the show. Everything revolves around him, even Cody. Cody doesn't exist in this way if Roman isn't here. If Roman Reigns doesn't exist, Cody Rhodes comes back to the WWE to wrestle who? Big questions. I think Johnny maybe froze out. I think maybe I froze out. Maybe just a weather blip. Where's Johnny? I think Johnny's going to come back. Are we back? Yeah, I'm back. But no Johnny. Oh, he'll be back, I think. Johnny, come back. Let me text him. There he is.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, I think that was me, John. I think I had a weather blip. Everything went and then back up. You good?
I think we'll be okay, hopefully. I mean, again, like I said at the top of the show, weather's kind of crazy today.
Yep. I think my internet went, stop, and then it came right back. Everything froze. But now everything is back, baby. We're back. We're back, baby. Okay. So we've got Gunther winning. Crown Jewel. And that is that's the Crown Jewel. It's going to be very long, I think. I looked at my guide today and I almost started to cry because it said it's starting at 1 and ending at 6 p.m. I said, no! No 5-hour show on a Saturday afternoon, please. Please, Triple H. Nick Khan. Ari Emanuel. The ghost of Vince McMahon. Whoever I got to ask.
I think they can pull this off, to be honest. Like, they just need to not have those, like, promos that last forever, and we don't need unnecessary, like, propaganda for Saudi Arabia. Just cut all that stuff.
Fuck, we're going to get that, too. Saudi Arabia. It's really cool now. Don't worry, guys. We don't kidnap wrestlers. Women's rights? Sure. We got those.
They just wear PJs all the time, that's all.
Yeah, that's another weird one, right? All the lady wrestlers are all covered up, head to toe, and the men are in their underwears, and It's cultural or religious or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like when the wrestlers have to change how they dress in the ring based on like the country's rules. It seems bad. I don't like that kind of thing. You know? Why should the women have to cover up but the men don't? It seems weird to me. It's a foreign concept. I don't like it. They can't show their arms. It's correct. Can't show their arms, can't show their ankles. Like I don't know. It's a religious thing, I guess. The whole country's like that. It's the rules over there. Seems weird to me. Seems weird. Also, naked men, cool. Naked women, no way. What's up with that? But they're also like anti-gay. So it's like, wait a second. Hang on a minute, buddy. You're pro-naked man, anti-naked women, but also anti-gay. So what's happening? I think you're confused. Because if you're pro-naked man, anti-naked woman, you better be pro-gay. Because it seems like you're gay, which is fine. A lot of gay guys like naked dudes, but not naked women. I don't know if you knew that, John. But it's a thing with those guys. Those fellas, they like the naked men. Naked women, not so much. Seems like that's the story in Saudi Arabia, too. So it's like, what's the story, man? It just doesn't compute in my mind. Canada, man. We do things different over here. It's not like Saudi Arabia. We're pro-naked women in Canada. And I'm pro-naked woman. Obviously. Who isn't? Who doesn't want to see ladies in their regular wrestling clothes? Sorry, John.
Hey, we do this all the time. Like it's twice a year. So
I know, but it's always weird. It's always like, what? Why are we doing this again? Because like if they're acting like, yo, they're doing all this propaganda. Like Saudi Arabia is cool now, guys. It's all cool. At what point are they gonna do a show in Crown Jewel where it's like, yeah, they're wearing their regular gear? Because it's fine.
I remember when it first started.
Yeah, they had no women at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason Pete says, I'm pro-naked in general. No Diddy and no Bruno. No Bruno. Like Sacha Baron Cohen Bruno? That guy was funny. It's a good movie. I like that Bruno. I like the Borat as well. Yeah, puppies. Of course, Ray Cruz. Puppies. Puppies! Right? Tremendous. I say dicks and balls and titties for everybody. That's what I say. More life. That's what life is all about. That's how life is created, brother. I don't know if you knew that.
I lived through the Attitude Era. I remember that.
I was raised on the Attitude Era. Could you imagine the Attitude Era going to Saudi Arabia? How would they pull that off?
Yeah.
Could you imagine? We're going to Saudi Arabia. It's 1999. And it's like fucking Godfather with the train of people. Val Venus, what does he do? Nothing. That's right now. The hell am I talking about? I think we're back. Are we back? Yeah, we're back. A little blip again, man. Keeps happening. We're blipping. We're blipping, Johnny. Johnny will be back with me in a second. I don't know what's happening tonight. I think it's the weather. But yes, Attitude Era in Saudi Arabia would have been fantastic. Beers. Deborah and the puppies. Godfather with the hoe train. Val Venus doing his pornos. Kai and Tai, choppy choppy your wee wee. I mean, we would have some good times. Did Johnny freeze out again? Is that Johnny now freezing out? Because I think I'm good. I'm back. I just lost Johnny. I had Johnny, and then I lost Johnny. Goddamn, pal. We're having technical difficulties. These difficulties are so technical. Johnny!
I think I'm back.
Yeah, you're back, pal. You're back. Okay, so Crown Jewel. Just to recap our predictions from Crown Jewel. We both have Gunther winning against Cody Rhodes. I have Nia Jax beating Liv Morgan. You have Nia Jax winning too?
Yes.
But I have Nia Jax winning and then Tiffy Time cashing in on Liv Morgan to become the new Raw Women's Champion. I have Seth Freakin over Bronson Reed. Johnny's going with the Bronson. We both have Kevin Owens over Randy Orton. I've got LA Knight retaining the U.S. title. Johnny North sees a new champion in Andrade in that triple threat match. We both have Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair defending and retaining the women's tag team titles in the Fatal 4-Way. And we also both have the new Bloodline using their numbers advantage to beat Roman Reigns and the Usos. That's WWE's Crown Jewel tomorrow afternoon. And we'll recap all the action, give you our score on 10, our match of the show tomorrow afternoon, right after Crown Jewel. Right here on the Ringside Report Network. Exciting times. Putting in the work, baby. Putting in work this weekend. It's been a long week. I'm kind of glad baseball season's over. I'm glad the postseason's over because those 8 o'clock starts, staying up late watching the games has been rough. Wake up at like 5:30 in the morning, you know? Staying up till like 11, 12 to watch a baseball game. You got to wake up at 5:30. Do that multiple times a week. It's difficult, John.
How was Halloween last night?
Fantastic. Weather was great. I was in shorts and slides, which felt amazing on Halloween. A lot of times, you know, you go out and the kids all have to wear big jackets over their costumes, can't even see what they're doing because it's so cold on Halloween. But we had an unseasonably warm Halloween, which was great. Couldn't have asked for a better Halloween. It was my daughter's first time going. She loved trick-or-treating. Loved it. Every time she came down the stairs from another house, she said, "I got more candy." She couldn't believe it. Every time, "I got more candy." Just loving it. Happiest kid, running down the street, going to the next house. So excited. My son loved it too. He loves Halloween. They both love Halloween. I love Halloween. It's my favorite. It was great to see both kids trick-or-treating together, having a great time. As a father, doing the trick-or-treating in my shorts with the kids, both of them having a great time. I couldn't have asked for a better night. It was great. It was fantastic. I love Halloween. I love warm weather. Love my kids. I love candy. What could be better? I had so much candy. Still been eating. I ate a lot of candy today, too. There's candy everywhere. I've got a freaking Aero bar right here. I mean, it's everywhere. Oof.
Didn't get a lot of raisins?
I worked out hard this week, so it's okay. I'll be all right. Raisins? There was no raisins.
No raisins? Wow. I used to always get raisins.
Yeah, you egg the houses that give you raisins, I think.
No, I was very nice. I'm a wonderful person. I'm a heel in wrestling, but not in real life.
Yeah, that's a lie. Okay, AEW Dynamite, John. We had Orange Cassidy accept a match with Jon Moxley. That's going to happen at their pay-per-view, AEW's Full Gear, coming up pretty soon, I think, right?
23rd, I want to say?
Is November 23rd in New Jersey. We've got a few weeks.
2 or 3 weeks, right?
Yeah. It'll be Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy for the AEW World Championship. Jay White versus Hangman Page 1-on-1. And MJF versus either Adam Cole or Roderick Strong.
That's what I'm more than likely Adam Cole.
Yeah.
I would figure.
Well, yeah. Adam Cole wrestled Buddy Matthews this week on Dynamite. And the only thing I noticed was how shitty Adam Cole looked next to Buddy Matthews. I mean, I think most of us would look shitty next to Buddy Matthews because he's so jacked. But Adam Cole was like this weird color. And, he's wrestling Buddy Matthews, so it looks weird when it's like competitive. Because Cole has like no real physique. And I don't know what that tanner was, but he looked yellow. Like he looked like he was jaundiced. He looked sick. It didn't work. And he winds up beating Buddy Matthews, and you go, is this believable at all? I don't know. I get it. He's a good wrestler and all, but I just think that the first-time viewer checking into AEW and seeing Adam Cole looking like that, wrestling Buddy Matthews looking as jacked as he does, and then and it's competitive, and Adam Cole wins, I think the average viewer would go, what? Because I see him and I'm not a body guy. I'm not like hung up on the physiques of wrestlers, I'm a Bret Hart guy. I'm a Bryan Danielson guy, but those guys, they were in shape. They weren't huge. They weren't Batista. They weren't the Ultimate Warrior, but man, they were, at least they looked like wrestlers. Adam Cole looks rough. And I don't want to body shame the guy or whatever, but it's pro wrestling, it's TV, and he's in his underwears, and he looks kind of weird. Like the color was off in comparison to the other jacked guy he's in the ring with. It's kind of like, how are you beating him? It's got to be believable, And the thing is with Adam Cole is his wrestling style. He's not Rey Mysterio. He's not like an amazing athlete. He's not a high flyer. He's not Bryan Danielson, like an incredible technical wrestler. He's like a smaller, worse shaped Shawn Michaels. Like he wrestles a lot like Shawn, just not as good. And he doesn't really fill the shoes because he's like half the size. And Shawn wasn't big either. It's just, I don't know. When I see him, I think, I was never a big fan, but at least there was a time where he kind of looked more the part. But seeing him this week on Dynamite, it's rough. Yeah, him and Britt Baker broke up. I don't know. Maybe he's depressed.
Well, he's also coming back from a major injury, too, so he probably hasn't worked out as much.
Well, wasn't it an ankle injury?
Right.
You can't bench press? You can't lift arm. You can't do shoulders? He can't do biceps? Does he lift weights? I don't lift weights. I'm more jacked than he is.
Right. I see that. I mean,
I shouldn't be in better shape than Adam Cole. I see him and I go, look at that twig boy. I can smoke that fool. He looks crazy bad.
I found NXT was the same way, though. Like, he was like the smallest guy there.
Maybe the color was better because they knew how to tan him right. They could afford better. Like, maybe WWE provided the tanner because this tanner looked like shit. Did he not look yellow to you this week? Because Buddy Murphy was like red. Like, he was niacined out. And Adam Cole just looked yellow in comparison.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably the tanner stuff that they have in WWE, it's better for like HD. More than likely, it looks better. And whatever Adam Cole had, it didn't look as good. So, and it makes it look bad too when you see someone who's like beat red and like they look like obviously he's in better shape. Plus, beat red, you're in better shape. So, yeah, it looks like a monster against someone who's very small. It looks really off. But again, I'm used to this with Adam Cole. I've seen it many times over where he's been in the situation, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, I'm used to it. But I just think of the first-time viewer who's never seen it before. They tune in and they go, what the hell is this? And they tune out, I think. Anyways, Adam Cole won. The match wasn't particularly special, and Malachi Black shook his hand after. There's something going on there. I don't know.
He's next week.
Great. Is he going to beat him too?
Well, he's got to win 3 to face MJF, so I think he's got to beat Malachi Black, and then he's probably got to beat Roddy in order to get the match, I think.
God. Just putting him over everybody, eh?
Yeah, for him to eventually lose. I don't think he's beaten MJF on the pay-per-view.
He better not. He better not. I really liked Hangman Page's promo about Jay White and the match. It was just backstage promo, very intense, just great. Hangman is so good at pro wrestling. He looks the part. Big Jack guy, just looks like a wrestler. The intensity, this new kind of character shift. The matches are incredible. He is a top-tier professional wrestler in 2024. He is one of the best in the world. He's so damn good. Like, everything Hangman does is gold. Take
Not
that,
gonna
CM
disagree.
Punk.
Well, not everyone's going to like everybody. But
No.
I'm not going to disagree. I just feel like he's getting lost, though, where he should have got a title shot by now. And I feel he's getting lost in these feuds where they don't really go anywhere now. Like, he beat Swerve. He lost Jay White once. He's probably going to get the win back at Full Gear.
Mm-hmm.
But then what? Like, what's he...
Maybe a match with Moxley. They're going to need something, right? Could be Mox.
Yeah? Well, I don't know if they're going that direction because it feels like they're both strong heels, so I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, well, I could see him going babyface and joining up with Darby and Orange. Like, they're going to need some backup eventually.
Well, so, I mean, a lot's going to play with the Bucks now because the Bucks are apparently gone. So
They're gone.
It'll be interesting to see what happens now with this whole Elite story.
Well, I think the Elite story changes. Where does Okada fit in now? But the Bucks apparently going on break. I think Matt is hurt. One of them is hurt.
I think it's Nick.
Nick
I think
is
Nick's hurt.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of them is hurt, and I think they're just kind of burnt out, and they're going to take some time off, and they're gone for a while, and they dropped the tag team titles this week to Private Party.
It was a good match. I mean, as much as you may not like the decision, I thought the match was good, though.
It was okay. It was okay.
I can give the
Private
Bucks
Party,
a lot
though,
of
I'm not
credit.
convinced, but whatever.
I don't disagree, but I give the Bucks a lot of credit. They made Private Party look like $1 million, I thought.
Yeah, the Bucks are very good. It was better than their match at the pay-per-view. That match sucked.
This was far better.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just the perfect time to do it. To make a title change right there, the crowd was set for it. Like, it was perfectly done. Like, you got to give the Bucks a lot of credit. Like, a lot of people say that they're not the best tag team, but they're up there in terms of one of the better tag teams.
I like the Young Bucks. They're going to be gone for a while. AEW lost Bryan Danielson. Now they're losing the Young Bucks.
Tough.
What do they have left?
Oh, there's a lot left, actually, but it's hard to lose that star power.
It's a lot of star power. It's a lot. Haven't seen Toni Storm in a while either. Star power.
But I think she did a movie or something recently, too.
Okay.
So,
yeah, but that's not the point, John. Like, we're not seeing MJF. We're not seeing Toni Storm. Bryan is gone. The Bucks are gone. Kenny's still hurt. Like, what?
Well, that should show you something, too, as well. Like, they have all these injuries, and yet they're still going on. Like, they're only going to get better, actually, when they finally get people back. WWE, it's the same way, I find.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going on, but how good is it? Like, Dynamite this week was...
I thought the ending was fantastic. I love the ending. I know you don't like the Hurt Business, Hurt Syndicate, but I enjoyed that.
I mean, we knew Bobby Lashley was going to show up at some point, and in this match here, it's Swerve versus Shelton, so you figured probably now. And Swerve beat Shelton. Good match. And then Bobby showed up, and, he's obviously with MVP and Shelton. I just think, okay, Seemed obvious that this is where we were going, finally debuting Bobby, because we all know Bobby's under contract. He didn't really do much. And I'm sorry, Bobby Lashley is not going to move the needle. He's just another ex-WWE guy on the AEW roster. Another mid-card WWE guy that AEW thinks could be a near main eventer. I don't dislike Bobby Lashley as a talent. I think he's a good wrestler. I think there's a lot of positives about Bobby. His size, his look, his believability. A lot of positives about Roberto Lashley. Here's the negative. Never able to cut a promo. Getting old, pushing 50. Never really been over in a real way in a major company. So, nice signing, AEW. How much you paying for that? How much? Is it worth it? You going to get your return on investment from Bobby Lashley? Like, he's not untalented. He's very cool. He looks cool. He's cool. But when has he ever been really over? In his entire career. When has he ever been able to cut a promo? In his entire 20-plus year career on TV wrestling. WWE, TNA, back to WWE. When? I will admit, he had a brief run in TNA where he had the American Top Team with him, and he had Dan Lambert with him, and he was like the champion, and it was kind of a fun run. But it wasn't, making waves. It wasn't moving the needle. It wasn't changing TNA wrestling. Wasn't giving them bigger opportunities, selling tickets. Nothing. So, John, you can love it all you want, and I know you're a big Lashley fan. Like, I know you really like Bobby Lashley. But you have to admit, there are flaws. He's not like a CM Punk who's going to come in right away and go, whoa, I got to tune in to see CM Punk. I don't know how many wrestling fans are saying, I got to tune in to see Bobby Lashley. I know that Lashley's debut did good numbers on their YouTube channel, so maybe, I'm wrong, and I could be wrong, and that's fine. But for me, I've never seen him really over in a major way. I don't think he's going to sell a bunch more tickets for AEW. I think he's just, padding the roster, giving Swerve something to do right now, having a little group with Shelton and MVP, but how long until they're on Collision and they're kind of forgotten about and we just don't really see them? How long? 3 months? 6 months?
I mean, it's a huge wait and see, obviously. But I feel Lashley is unlike anyone else in AEW. Like, in terms of that physique, in terms of that intensity that he brings, like, no one brings that kind of aura that he has when he goes in that ring. So I think there's a lot he can offer in AEW that no one else can. And I'm very intrigued to see if he's also going to fight as well. Because if he does that, if he does the both, if he's actually going to fight and wrestle, because he said he wants to fight again. That's not done. Yeah. So if that ever happens, like if he does the double thing, that's going to get a lot of more interest, I think, behind Lashley.
He's 48.
Right?
Where's he going to fight? Who's going to sign him to a contract?
You don't think like PFL would sign him?
No.
I think they would.
No.
Wow, really?
No. They're a legitimate organization. They have Francis Ngannou as their world champion at heavyweight. They're not signing Bobby Lashley at 48 years old. Never proven anything in MMA. Lost to Chad Griggs in Strikeforce. Get the fuck out of here. He hasn't fought in years. PFL is not signing him to any kind of contract. Bobby has not fought since 2016, and he's 48 years old. He fights again, it's going to be bad for his health. He better fight a nobody for an easy win because he's going to get fucked up. Come on. He wasn't Brock Lesnar. You want to talk about a needle mover? You want to talk about a guy who would put asses in seats? Similar, Brock Lesnar. Bobby's no Brock. He's Bobby Lashley.
Well, I think there was a lot of interest in Brock versus Lashley when it happened. I think you can get a lot of interest in people seeing him fight, too.
I don't know what big organization would sign him. There aren't, I don't think, maybe ONE FC in Japan, do something over there. I don't know. But UFC, no way. PFL, I don't think so. That's pretty much it as far as the big leagues. He can find a fight, just not, probably not for the money that he'd be expecting. So I don't know if that actually happens. I think he'd be like, I'm not fighting for this money, and then he just wouldn't fight. It's not worth it financially for him to fight. I think he's going to get paid more to stay in pro wrestling. I think he'd get paid more doing an indie booking or two than he would taking a fight. No one's going to pay him to fight. No one in MMA is really looking for Bobby Lashley to fight. MMA fans aren't going to buy tickets to see Bobby Lashley. And neither are pro wrestling fans. But I think MMA fans are less likely to buy tickets for Bobby Lashley. He's less known, less valued in MMA than he is in pro wrestling. So a fight, I think, at 48 years old is a bad idea.
Well, you may not agree with it, but it's what he wants to do, and you've seen it before in the past where people will just do what they want.
Yeah, it's Mike Tyson.
Well, Tyson's a great example, but I feel Tyson's a little bit different, though. That's set up the way it's set up like that, and that's very soon, is it not? Like
couple weeks. It's on a Friday night too.
We'll probably be watching at the same time. Possibly.
Yeah, we'll do something. We'll do something for that. That's gonna be nuts.
Well, if AJ come on, that'll be fun.
Yeah, maybe something like that. But tomorrow we're going to watch Crown Jewel, and then we will recap the action when it is over, which will be a lot of fun. Tomorrow we'll have some Crown Jewel thoughts. We'll give you our match of the night, score on 10, and all the good things that we do here on the Ringside Report Network. I want to thank all the subscribers and, of course, all the members. Giving a shout-out to the members over at join.ringsidereport.net and membership.ringsidereport.net. Shout-out to Ray Cruz, Jason Pete out in Mexico, Angelo Contagonis, Leor in New Brunswick, and all the friends around the world watching us however you watch us on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Rumble, however you do it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the Ringside Report Network, and we will be back here tomorrow afternoon right after Crown Jewel.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word.
You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button. Flip those notification switches.
We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again next time, and have a good night.